You've stumbled into another nostalgic void. Drifting, searching with your rose-colored glasses. Fear not. What an Oddcast is here to guide you. With hosts Jared Minikheim, Anthony Denny, Michael Kennedy, and Sven Magnuson. Stay odd and hold on tight.
Welcome back to What an Oddcast, episode 304. Starships are meant to fly. I'm your intro man, Maverick.
Another year, another day. Happy birthday, Jared. I'm Ann Refney.
I did it all for the nookie, so you can take that cookie and shove it up your Jared Minikheim.
Oh, it is Jared's birthday episode, though we are recording this a little early. Happy birthday, Jared. How do you feel about being...
Everything hurts and life sucks. We all move on.
Ah, man. It's crazy when people hear this. I will officially be I will still be the youngest one here. Officially by
yes.
A whole year.
Yes. Yeah, if you're listening to it, we're just ahead. So this one just comes out on that week. So I realized that as I was editing 303, I was like, oh shit, this one's gonna come out that week. Oh shit.
303. Wow.
So,
how's everyone's week been?
interesting. Been interesting
Fine.
since our last recording.
And fine. You know, not much has happened in my life, so...
Hey,
just
that's
existing.
not always a bad thing.
Do you guys know that we
Yeah,
are
we're not
100 episodes away from doing the funniest thing in the world and just canceling the podcast and putting up an error 404 message? Just for a full fucking week. For a full week, we just...
Honestly, I
just-
thought about that.
Right? We're so fucking close to being able to be done and just putting up a 404 message. Just be like, we fucking aired out, everyone. We're sorry.
Jared,
You got
for that
2
whole
more
week,
years, Jared.
you need to remove the entire playlist all at once.
The
Just
entire
every episode
account
gone.
is gone. It just
I
replaced with a
wish
404.
that was possible. That would be
Right.
that'd be hilarious.
I've been thinking about that all day. I just want to let you both know, like, nothing else has crossed my mind. Just like thinking about how we can like somehow copyright and edit the blue screen of death and the 404 message to be something funny with the Oddcast, and just throwing that up for an episode. Be like, yeah, this is our best episode ever, and then it's just the 404 message.
Well, you see, Jared, unfortunately, he decided he was moving to Mars. So we no longer have a podcast.
I also thought
Yeah,
about
I found Elon.
doing the 404 message or a lost file corruption, and then we just talk about all things lost. So we talk about like Lost and the Lost World and other lost things.
Land
So,
of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. Both the
haven't
original
started my
TV
rewatch of that
series and the Will Ferrell movie with Danny McBride.
A great movie. I still remember the scene where he calls the dinosaur have this really dumb, tiny brain, and it decides to jump over a cliff as a big fuck you.
It's not a good movie. It's a very bad movie.
It's funny enough, my experience with Land of the Lost, outside of Will Ferrell, I had seen the original stuff, and then I watched the early 2000s version of the series on TNT every day after school, and I found it on Tubi recently, and I was like, I'm afraid to rewatch this. I can't imagine it's going to hold up.
Do I smell a new episode of Jokey Has a Bad Taste?
Oh, for sure. I've eyeballed it. Because I only ever watched it because the blonde cave woman was super hot, and I always watched it every day after school. And looking at it now, I'm like, I don't know if she's going to sell it for me now that I'm older, but we'll try.
Let's see.
Puberty me was very into it, but I don't know if I'm going to be into it now.
Well, you see, the thing is, when you're going through puberty, you just want to jack off to everything.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean, some of us never outgrow that phase. Some of us can actually use our brain to make images.
Hey. That's so mean. Why? I haven't even done anything.
Jared, I swear to God, if you make us talk about his fucking thing again, I will leave the podcast. I have talked about it at length many times how I want to stop bringing up this issue with Anthony, and I get irrevocably and irrecoverably pissed off every time we bring it up. Like,
so for those who don't know, I have aphantasia.
Oh no, they know. If you go listen to last
sick of
week's
talking about
episode,
I know. I'm just
there's a whole fucking segment, and I've been editing that
my
and laughing at how dumb it
you.
is.
Oh no, have fun talking to yourself about 28 days later in Squid Games, you fucking asshole.
Oh,
I believe her name, by the way, is Shannon Day.
I don't know.
That
I've never looked up the actress. I
Wow.
never looked her up. That's what I knew her
You
from growing up.
jacked off to her.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, it's
Goddamn.
Shannon Day.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, so here's some news for the world. With the King of the Hill revival season coming, they're going to make a promo Alamo beer based off the King of the Hill beer, and they're going to give it the official King of the Hill Alamo beer logo. And that was confirmed this week. And apparently they're doing a King of the Hill beer run. So if you want to get that for your collection, or maybe you just want to try it, there's an Alamo beer coming.
Man,
So
too bad the only person who wants to drink that is in Guam, where it will not go.
No, it might, because it might be tainted with soap water, and so they need to pull it from the American shelves and get it to overseas because it induces lay vomiting and lay diarrhea, as Peggy calls it. Again, don't try to out King of the Hill me.
Man, I still remember watching
shit.
the episode that got banned of the guy, the crazy pig man.
Oh, where he goes through where he finds Luann and makes her the Miss Bacon, and then finds Miss Bacon, but he thinks he's the pig, and then he goes through a thing that's supposed to cause pigs to go brain dead so they don't feel the butchering, and it clears his mind because apparently electroshock therapy works.
Sometimes apparently.
Not bad. I've watched it on TV recently, so
it was banned for a while. They brought it back, but it was weirdly banned. I'm like, I get why, but I'm like,
it's a bad episode. It also was really creepy. It was because he finds her, and then she thinks that they are going. Luann thinks that him and the Pork King, or whatever his name is, I can't remember, are going to get married. In the middle of the night, he cuts and dyes her hair.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
red.
It's very creepy. So, and again, he thinks, so you want to marry? No, you're going to marry this guy, and it's some German blonde dude, and I'm going to be the pig, and he's got his fucking pig outfit on.
Blink, blink.
So weird.
It is. The episode takes a real hard turn.
TV raised me, guys. So you really, if there's one thing you can't do, you can't really out TV Maverick. So
it's true. This is true.
I want to talk about fat people for a minute.
Okay.
Well, leave me out of this.
Shut up. Twofold. One, because you'll relate to this one. No, you'll relate to this one, Anthony. There's a health and wellness coach. Her name is Amber, and she's very body positive. You've probably seen her. She's very popular. She was at a gym apparently sometime, and someone came up and asked her how she works out her calves because she has really nice calves, and she didn't know how to tell the person, oh, I don't train my calves. I was just overweight for majority of my life. And so I've never related to something so fucking hard. Being fat and in marching band, I have calves of steel. It is all muscle. It is pure muscle.
For those who don't know, I have also these weirdly, I don't know if I'll be able to get them on camera.
They don't know. We don't show those for free.
No, there's no piggies. No piggies.
No, regardless, we still don't show shit for free. Yeah.
I have really big, thick, hard. It's not jiggle. That is hard.
It's muscle.
Yeah. Just because I have been fat my whole life, and I've been
It made me. I literally was like, I've never related to something so hard. Like I always tell people, like from the waist down, minus the dingly bits, which are just average, I'm like fucking rock star. Everything from the waist up, it kind of goes to hell real quick.
I thought you were about to say that you are rock hard.
No,
that comes later.
It doesn't. You don't get to see that for free. We've talked about this. That's on our Patreon, Oddcast N/Patreon or whatever it is. Twofold. I want to talk about late in life fat people, and I am not here to body shame anyone. Okay, that's not what this is for. I'm not. If you were thin your entire life, you fit places, right? If you got fat later on in life, you need to have spatial awareness that you now take up more space. Okay? I love my mother dearly, but she was a very thin woman up until she had my sisters. I don't know if you've ever seen photos of Carrie when she was younger, but she was very. Yeah, they're not really there. She's pretty thin, right? She didn't really get big until she had the twins, and then that kind of weight just kind of stayed, and you got 3 kids. She will sometimes be like, "Oh, you just squeeze past." No, I can't, Mother. I love you dearly, but 1, I'm not doing that, and 2, you're taking up more space than you realize. So I just had to get off my chest because it's been bothering me for a couple weeks, because like it's happened a couple times. And there was one time, there's been a couple times like at work with people too, where you can tell that they used to be thin and they got an office job and gained like the office 15 and things like that. And you're like, no, see, you can't just, I can't just squeeze on by. 1, it's an HR violation. 2, you're taking up more space than you realize. Now, me as a fat person and have been fat since the 3rd grade, I'm very spatial, and also autism. I'm very spatially aware of the amount of room that I take up for the most part. And so like when people are trying to get past, I will go out of my way to make sure that I have scooted in as far as I can.
Oh, yes. That's fair. I get that because I've been fat my whole life. And I'm like, all right, here, let me.
Yes. Jared, as someone that's been thin and fat throughout their life, have you noticed this pattern as well?
Yeah.
Now that I've called your attention to it, are you going to be even more hyper aware of it because you're worried that you also might be late in life fat, now losing weight, being thin?
Well, no, actually, I kind of fall in line of the Maverick. I have enough spatial awareness, something I've something Sergeant Protected has made me so painfully aware of. When we went to the Mango Festival, and the way he walked through the crowd, I kept having to just be like, yeah, I know, you gotta, hey bud, maybe pay attention to all the people walking by. Like, I know you're tiny, but like literally you're about to run into everyone because you're just like, what's this? What's that? And I'm like, no. There's like hundreds of people, bud. Come on.
It's amazing how topical this just became, because I just wanted to bitch about it because it's happened a couple times. We're like, no. You know how they have like there's new money and old money, and like there's early in life fat and there's late in life fat, and people that come late in life fat just do not know how to take it. They don't. You are blatantly unaware of thin privilege, pretty privilege, and what I call had a great thing, had some great, but not fat shame, but like something like that. Because the body positive, I don't care. Like just be aware of your surroundings, please, especially if you've gotten larger late in life. You are not where you once were, and especially if it's a learned habit, like you just gotta break the habit, my friends. So that's my soapbox. I'll get off it now.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah. I can agree with that one. Yeah,
like fat. Just be fat.
Just know that you are. Again, no shame. I myself am a large man. I am old fat, so I would gladly help all new fats. And that's it. Just be
aware.
Come
to our training camp.
Yeah. Also, if you are if you are new fat, do not use natural deodorant. And do not use anything that has beef tallow in it.
Yeah,
If you
no.
have anything with beef tallow in it and you are a larger person, the chemicals in your sweat will make you smell like beef jerky. This has now been tested with 4 of my friends who are all of the larger variety. And it's all, yeah, why do we smell like beef jerky? Like, yeah, it's a chemical salt thing in your sweat when you, because like everything. Anthony would be fine because he doesn't sweat, but like, don't use beef tallow, don't use natural deodorant. We're gonna go ahead and pin those on the Oddcast rules.
That's all bad. Who?
Yeah, the thing is like I use Old Spice deodorant because I've like Old Spice and it's good. And also I have an allergy to aluminum, so I can't use the white powdery stuff. So I use the gel stuff, and I know that Old Spice is a good smell.
It also is a powerful smell, which helps.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And as someone who doesn't properly sweat, so I just stink.
Yep.
Because all that bacteria don't die, so it's like I'm going to thrive here now.
At least it's not. At least it doesn't smell like beef jerky. But
no,
that
it just smells like dick.
Someone's on the list with that.
That was my soapbox. So,
well, food adjacent. There's a news story that I had that I'm just gonna put it out there for anyone who listens to this. Maybe I'll clip it. Who knows? Maybe if I care that much. But
that's all you do is care, Jared. So it will be clipped.
Well,
gotta clean the house and edit a show. Life's so hard for Jared.
If you bought the Ecto High coolers for the Ghostbusters in 2016,
I see. Yes.
Somebody who bought them. Yeah, if you bought them because you want them in a collection or whatever, because we all do things. Gonna want to check on them because the news story that came out yesterday was that somebody who did do that found that in his fridge the can had doubled in size. So there's now a warning to everyone: hey, for whatever reason, these are just exploding like they're carbonated, even though they're supposed to be just juice. So just be aware, these are literally exploding.
They're fermenting.
It's almost like
orange. Even if you got them in the fridge.
It's almost like they're a drink meant to be drunk.
Yeah,
it's
almost like you should probably empty them before you save the can. Just saying.
Yeah, you can poke a hole or something along the lines of that. No,
crack them and drain them. It doesn't matter. You're not drinking them. No one's going to buy
They're
them
not good.
Point. They weren't good in the past.
they were never good.
It's all gross.
It's
green orange juice. It's green orange flat. It's green flat orange pop. That's all it was.
Not even carbonated.
It was Tang in a can. Yeah, exactly. Watered down Tang in a can.
Yes.
Speaking of Ghostbusters.
Oh, here we go.
Speaking of Ghostbusters.
Speaking of Tang.
No. Speaking of Ghostbusters. It wouldn't be. It's fine. Hasbro, the lovely company that me and Anthony both adore and would very much like free shit from. So this is me attempting to network, Jared. Wink. Who we've never had any issues with before. And if there were previously, those were not statements made by the Oddcast network. And so
nope.
They do not reflect the ideologies of individual persons on the show. Have you guys seen what Hasbro wants to do with Ghostbusters?
No, I have not.
Apparently, there's they want to do 2 movies and 14 different animated spin-offs. I'm not even kidding you. They think that Ghostbusters is going to be the next big IP because there's a big push for horror right now. Because Sinners did really well. 28 Years Later is doing really well. There's 2 other horror movies. So they think that Ghostbusters is going to come out and be part of the horror revolution.
Ghostbusters wasn't even the best part of the 80s, was even the best 80s franchise.
That's very true. The aliens are now on Earth, and so that's something.
Ghostbusters ain't even horror.
I mean, technically. What would you classify it as?
Stupid.
It is comedy horror.
I would
Yeah.
more on the comedy end than the horror end.
That's why comedy is first. I said comedy horror. I didn't say horror comedy. There's good horror comedies out there.
You could include it in like what Maverick did. I mean, you got ghosts and demons and whatnot in there. That counts.
Yeah. Did you guys forget? Oh, I did forget her name. What's the main bitch's name? And go. Hang on. Let me know. Get that. Hang on.
Her name is Sigourney Weaver.
Nope. She's the gatekeeper. And Rick Moranis is the keymaster. It's fine.
He's a joke because he's got a penis.
And then they fucking the gates open. Hang on. Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue.
4 letters.
Virgo is the
Virgo's from the second one.
Yep. Hang on.
First one.
What's it start with? What's the first letter?
Z.
Z. Oh, that's right.
What? Did it actually make a Z sound?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. It's not Zork. It's Zork. Hang on. I'll think of this.
Okay, there's 4 letters in total, but there's only 3 unique letters.
So the vowels repeat?
Yes, the vowel repeats.
Am I close with Zork?
No.
Z, zoo, Z, zib. I don't know. What is it?
Zool.
Ah, you're right. It is Zool. Yeah.
Z-U-U-L. Zool.
Zool. Across the streams.
Fun. Here's a little fun thing. So do you remember the HasLab Ghostbusters, the Proton Pack?
I do.
That they were selling it for $400.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you got some other things. You can now get that again as the 1984 one for $100 less. You can get a Proton Pack, the HasLab with a different, better color scheme.
I love that. Good for them.
Go fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you can pre-order it now. $300.
Sure.
Comes out next March.
Never pre-ordering. Listen, me and Hasbro, again, the statements that are about to be made by the person speaking do not reflect that opinion of the Oddcast Network. I'm basically never ordering from Hasbro again. I deleted my Hasbro account. There's no point for me to have it.
So, let me explain how Anthony works. I have my Hasbro account. I use it to pre-order all of my stuff.
Yep.
And if I find someone like, Silverbolt here, who I haven't had him pre-ordered, and I find him on Amazon and he comes quicker on Amazon, I will cancel my Hasbro order and buy it on Amazon.
Yeah, no. The last thing I ordered was the HasLab for the Transformers for Optimus and Omega Supreme, right?
Ultra Magnus, but
Ultra Magnus, yes.
Omega Prime, that's what I got, yeah.
Yeah, which is over on my shelf, still in box. Gonna wait to sell that off when it's worth some good money. So I'm gonna give it a couple years. So. I'm not even gonna open it. It's just gonna sit there on the shelf.
Oh well, that's gonna be perfect.
I know. It's just gonna gather dust, and then I'm gonna sell it for $1,000, and y'all can eat my ass. Shit. They keep being like, "Hey, do you want to order some G.I. Joe shit?" No, Hasbro. I know you're a multi-billion-dollar company with interfacing AI. Have I ever even looked at the fucking G.I. Joe shit? No. Do you want to order the Marvel's Legends stuff? Again, Hasbro. Have I even looked at the Marvel's Legends? No. I went for Power Ranger shit. You can look back on my order. It has like 2 Transformers, which were Megatron, 3 Transformers, Megatron, Optimus Prime, I think, right? Yeah, I had both of them. And then the fucking HasLab, the rest, the thousands of fucking dollars that I've spent was fucking Power Rangers. Come on now. No, I don't want G.I. Joe. No, I don't want your fancy fucking Monopoly and Trouble game. I don't want Marvel Legends shit. Fuck. I ordered Power Rangers. You got rid of Power Rangers. What the fuck else do I want?
Well, you know, Omega Prime is currently running about $400 on eBay.
It'll go up.
Damn.
Yeah. People are also selling the pieces that they don't want, like the stand and the sword.
Yeah.
And the little headmaster. Little headmaster, which reminds you, is like why am I
Yeah, you have it out. Go get it.
You do.
What other things? No, I
Sometimes
don't
it's
want
special.
new Candyland. I wanted the Power Ranger shit. You sold off the Power Ranger shit. No, I don't need. No, who the fuck is ordering GI Joe shit for God's sakes?
See this?
Yeah, little
This
guy.
wee little guy.
Yeah, that's tiny little guy.
Current bid on him.
Yep.
$45.
It's worth it. I got an investment up there. It's
Because
gold
he's
up
a
there.
unique headmaster that you can't get anywhere else.
I hate everything that.
Someone found a bid for $1. I should get another one.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a head. Nah,
So
this is Cerebros.
the statements that were previously made were not a reflection of the Oddcast network, and in no way deter Hasbro from sending us free shit. Thank you, Hasbro. But yeah, how did I even get on that? I don't know how I got on that. I get emails every so often. It pisses me off. Even though I've unsubscribed, they still send the shit to me.
Let's say I unsubscribed, and they don't send me stuff. I don't even get your stuff will be shipping soon emails, which is annoying.
Yeah, Jesus. So speaking of companies making deals and whatnot, one of the other big pieces of news that came from this week specifically, in the end of June here, is that Matt Mintre of South Park are suing Paramount, which
As it should.
Oh, very much so. Now, if you don't, for those of you who are listening and you don't know, let me give you a simple breakdown because there's a lot that went into
tell
this.
Uncle Jared.
So back when they made a deal with Paramount and they were doing all these specials and they were doing things for them, they also made some deals with people like Warner Brothers and Netflix of like, hey, we have a couple movie ideas. Would you be willing to take them so that Paramount doesn't have everything? We'll make some money on the side using their studio that Paramount helped them make, which was South Park Digital Studios. And it was great for them.
Basketball 2. The Revenge of whatever. I've never seen Basketball, so it's fine.
The Revenge of the LA Riots.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Did that hurt your brain that I've never seen Basketball?
Yeah, that actually confused me for a minute.
Remember, I had parents that loved me, and so like they actually paid attention to what I was watching on TV.
I guess
we had it. Hey. We had it on VHS.
Yeah, but again, two parents that loved me. So continue with your rock, Jared.
Well, Paramount made a deal with them, and it was a 10-year deal, and it was a $900 million, which overall was just, hey, you're going to give us exclusive rights to this and that. You can make deals with other people as long as we're getting a majority. And they were like, that's fine. It gives us the freedom to do what we want to. So sure, this is great. We have our own studio.
Yeah.
Boy, that would have been great, except that now they are acquiring the studio called Skydance. In this deal, the person who's going to be taking over Paramount decided, I don't like that 10-year deal. That's stupid. Apparently. Because now it has come out that they have been going to WB, and they've been going to Netflix, and they've been doing backroom deals, which have basically boiled down to cut your deal with these guys so that they have to go back to us because I am already reworking that 10-year deal to a 5-year deal, and we're just gonna cut this off. And Matt and Trey went, excuse the fuck out of me? You're not even the boss yet, and are now suing the shit out of Paramount. So that is the gist of what's going on. There's a lot more details in it, but that is the gist, is that the guy who's taking over Paramount is deciding basically, I don't want this deal with them. I don't really want them here.
Why?
And they're going, this was already done and said and signed. Fuck you.
Yeah, you can't ipso facto that, which is Latin for after the fact, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. You can't. It's a signed legal contract with the company, not the person who's running the company. It don't matter what you think and what you want.
Right.
That's what the paper says. The paper says 10 years. They got 10 years. You can renegotiate, but you can't force anything.
Good. You kind of screw yourself on that when you
that's renegotiation
the
if they
deals.
want it to be renegotiated.
And that it reminds me of the Daniel Tosh buyout of Comedy Central. They're like, yeah, we're looking to going to a different direction. He's like, cool. I still have 5 years, so either pay me out or we're gonna have legal issues. And then of course you settle out of court for probably 20% less or whatever, but you still get money. But also, why wouldn't Paramount want the 10-year contract to have exclusive rights to basically South Park, which is what the second longest running fucking cartoon in American history at this point?
I couldn't understand it either.
And while
I didn't understand his logic.
Not every season has 12 bangers in them, but you have access to the entire back catalog. What, the fuck?
Yeah, it baffles my brain that this person is doing the way they're doing, unless his idea was that if he takes all other deals off the table, that they have to come back to them ultimately. It's still stupid. It's still dumb.
They still can't do either way. They can't force anyone else to be like, no, you can't negotiate with him.
Yeah. So it's really stupid. But that came out. And it's just. Good for Matt and Trey, because no, fuck that. You made your deal. You've earned having said deal. Screw that guy. That's no. You worked hard enough to have your own studio. I support them fighting to keep that intact now.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think they know. They don't. South Park doesn't need them. They need South Park.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's 100% correct.
Very correct. Side news story that's not as important, and I'm only putting it here because it disappoints me, my child inside of me, my child self.
Both. He could use words.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park Rebirth, the reviews put it as meh, and I'm seeing some of the the diehard Jurassic Park community that I tune into, basically saying they should have just let this franchise die. Because even bringing back the old writer of the first and second Jurassic Park movies, the studio still managed to make this movie better than the last two, but still feel not as good as it could have been. And I went, yeah, maybe we should have just let this die. Maybe Dominion was the sign we just shouldn't do these anymore because they're not going to work.
It's twofold, right? Let me get back on my soapbox. Twofold.
Oh, God. Here we go.
The D-Rex, which is what the giant deformed friend is. There's the scene from Ted where he's talking like this. He's like, yeah, you kind of fucked me up a little bit when you put some stuffing back in the wrong place. Will you love me and take care of me ever and ever? That clip is, Anthony showed me a guy who does dinosaurs with scenes, and that's one of them, and that's all I'll be able to think about watching that movie now.
He does a lot of things with it also being Meatwad.
Yeah, he made me in his image. It's so dumb.
You look at him and tell me there's a God.
He made me in his image. That says Bibble. You dare question the mighty Jimmy? I've watched way too much Aqua Teen this past year as well.
Oh! I am 40 years old.
30 or 40 years old? Can either of you guys tell me Carl's last name?
Honestly, no. Out of how much I've watched it,
I'm pretty sure it's Guadalajara. I would put money on Guadalajara or some variation of that. Anthony, can I get a check real quick? We kind of went on a tangent. We're talking about South Park, but I'll get back there, I promise.
Aqua Teen. Hunger Force. Carl. Oh, not folk. Name. Carl Bratanawalewski. Bratanawalewski.
Yeah, Bratanawalewski. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's what it was. Woo! I love Bratanawalewski. 2, I don't know if you guys have seen the horror game that's out where, it's basically it's a Jurassic Park horror game where dinosaurs stalk you.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Just fucking do that as a movie. You have
yes.
you fucking drop a bunch of people on a fucking island that's infested with dinosaurs. That's the only good parts of those fucking movies. I don't need the plot. I need people being chased by dinosaurs.
See, what they need to do, and Jared and I have discussed this many times, they just need to make an adaptation of the book, like a more correct adaptation.
They should have done that.
No,
that's something like they've taken ideas from it, but they have never fully.
Because that's a proper horror, like you want, Mike. It gets.
No, you're both wrong.
Yes, it is.
That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinions about books and the movies, and that if you guys want to die on that hill, that's fine.
I've read both the books. That's more up the alley of what you're looking for.
You read The Lost World, so you know that it retcons a bunch of stuff because the movie was such an entire success that they actually forced Michael Crichton to write an entire book that retconned a bunch of shit, so it doesn't actually count. Okay, cool. So as long as we're all on the same page,
elements that we want.
Yeah, I'm not saying The Lost World or anything else for that.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying to follow the books exactly. I'm just saying like the elements that are in those books are more the story that we'd be looking for.
Considering it's the only book that Anthony's read in his adult life.
Whoa. So, I read 551.
That one doesn't count.
But how come? Why doesn't Fahrenheit 451 count, Michael?
Because every 8th grader fucking reads that book, man.
We didn't?
True.
I chose to read it in my adult life.
That sucks and a bad choice. And again, it goes back to the fact that you have a brain disorder. So,
I don't believe you.
No, because it's really weird because he leaves his wife for a 16-year-old girl.
So anyway,
Jurassic Park?
No, Fahrenheit 451.
Got it.
Look.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Is you just gotta do, which is I think is what they're doing with this. Like I've now watched like a complete it's like a 4-hour breakdown on YouTube of like here's all the Isla Sorna, Isla Nublar, the island archipelago. Here's what each thing was about. Like you have a great set. There's so much, but you just let people loose and let the dinosaurs chase them, and it's all it needs to be. You just think of, for whatever reason, people need to go to this island and get chased by dinosaurs, right? First one, sure, park. Second one, sure, research. Third one, I don't know, rich plumber apparently needs to find his son who collects dinosaur pee. Sure, that makes sense. Like, I am a Jurassic Park 3 stan by the fact that it is probably the best of the horror, right? You think about with the pterodons, with the Spinosaurus, with the velociraptors, like truly some of the scarier moments in that franchise. When he stop now.
When the velociraptors leave a trap for the person.
No, when he crosses the sky bridge and he makes it back across and the pterodons following him.
Oh,
like fucking
hey,
bring me the fuck out.
That scene is absolutely terrifying.
What the fuck? I saw that movie in theaters twice.
I did too. Once. With my best friend at the time, Gary.
I also saw it with a Gary. I thought
you saw it with
Gary.
Oh no, my Gary was a redheaded ginger man who we were best friends until high school when he decided to take shop and I decided to take band and just kind of fell apart.
Have I never told you guys about how I saw Jurassic Park 3 twice?
Yeah, you did. You tricked him, right? You weren't sure.
No, what happened? So my grandpa Gary's blind. Well, was blind. He's now deceased. May he rest. What happened was we got to
blind.
Jurassic Park, and this was back in the day. Kids who don't know, you didn't have to pay for even pick out your seats in the movie theater. You could just
fucking barbaric time
go. And we're there, and we're about a third of the way into the movie when we get there. And we pay for the tickets and everything, and I'm really bummed because I missed the beginning of the movie. And my blind grandpa, who's not watching a movie, he's just hearing everything. He's like, "I'll stay." And when the cleaners came in, because they clean up, and like, "Oh, you guys gotta leave because the next movie's coming up," and blah 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 blah. He went into his pocket, pulled out a 50, and said, "No."
You could have just bought 2 more tickets. You could just bought 2 more tickets for a lot cheaper.
I know.
What the fuck?
It's so funny because it's just like, no. Okay, he took the.
I mean,
he
could have. The guy could have just went and like, there's 2 other guys that are gonna stay for the movie again. They want to see it again. Here's 50, and I'm gonna pocket the fucking rest. What the fuck?
I know, it was just so funny because it was so much more money, and he like had the marker, so he knew how much money it was. But he just handed this underpaid
like
person
a $5
$50.
ticket now, even with inflation. It's still like a $4 ticket. Like Jesus Christ.
Was your grandfather like a fucking crime lord or something, where he could just sit there and be
Italian.
like, "Forget about it, you're 50."
Gabagool, you know,
works every time.
He was a blind, large Italian man who spent his free time at a casino.
He had money, then it's fine. Well, he didn't have money. He had $50. He's a betting man.
Got it on the slots this week.
My grandson wants to watch the full movie, so he watched it twice.
Well, he heard it twice. You watched it 1.5 times.
Yeah, he heard it twice.
Yeah, but let me tell you, it's really cathartic when you're a child and you know how to flip off the bird, to flip off the bird at a blind person when he gets you mad. He can't see it.
Yeah,
you're going to hell.
Let me tell you, because when he would sometimes go into rooms, and the first thing he would do is he would walk into a room and just stand there, because he was listening for people to see if there was anyone in the room.
Before we get into more stuff, one more very small news thing. As a comic fan, has me upset because I wanted this to be really good. The fact that we've never fucking had one, and I foolishly in my mind thought, this will be the time they get it right. This time they won't fuck us. This time they couldn't possibly fuck it up for a third time. But they might have. Fantastic Four. My fucking God, what the hell's wrong with the studio? So, up until literally this week, the runtime for this movie had been set at 2 hour, 10 minute. And everybody was like, all right, they're giving it a longer runtime, really flesh them out.
Sure. Right.
This week they updated that. They've shaved off 15 to 20 minutes.
Good.
With no explanation.
As it should be.
My only issue with this.
We're not getting
Galactus. This happen before.
We're not getting Galactus anymore.
See, that's the thing. They did that with Marvels, and they did that with one other movie. And those movies ended up having issues. I don't need this movie to have issues. This is the third fucking time.
Well, they couldn't afford
they're going to die off.
They couldn't afford Pedro Pascal for that long, so they had to cut out 15 minutes of him thinking.
It's just saying, if it's a small change, I typically won't pay attention. But when I see 15, 20 minutes got shaved off, I'm like, what went into the editing room at last minute that you guys were like, nah, let's not put that in there? Is that going to be a good thing, or did you just fuck it up at last minute again?
It's going to be whatever the end credit scene for Thunderbolts was, right? They realized they tied that in correctly because of how the release order got moved around, and so it's going to be something where they had to do something with that again, because if you speculate, people are saying like, oh, that's actually not Fantastic Four. Like, that's just Doctor Doom coming to our reality. Like, and people are saying like the Fantastic Four are dying in that movie. I'm wondering if they're going to have to retcon that, because they're like, actually, maybe they shouldn't die. Maybe we should be able to keep them.
They would never would have killed off the Fantastic Four in their first
Go check us out on TikTok. We have a whole theory about that.
Yep. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm gonna say I don't care either way. Speaking of Marvel, I don't. I'm trying, man. It's just getting so fucking hard.
It's fine. We've all talked about it. Maverick is just burnt out on it, and that's fine. It's exciting. It's fine. Everybody has their limits.
Is it one of the 4 movies we gotta see next month?
It is. It's one of the 6 movies we have to see next month, Anthony.
Jesus Christ.
6. Well, I still haven't been able to see the fucking Phoenician Scheme. Got 28 years later. We got fucking Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park, and Abraham's Boys. There's 6 fucking movies, and Sven hasn't given up his fucking schedule yet, the fucking asshole. I digress.
I'm not going to be able to see any of it, and that's sad.
Well, you're on lockdown, and that's a whole other issue that we're not going to talk about this week.
No, just Sergeant Redacted won't be here like at all next month.
I know.
He's here for maybe a week.
Clean house.
That he's traveling all month.
I tried to watch Ironheart. I gave it.
Oh, good. This was on the list too.
Oh, good. I got through the first 2 episodes, and I know what happens in the 3rd episode. It is not a show for me, right? It's not a show for me.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a fat white dude. This is not a show for me. And listen, Ryan Coogler, he's doing a great job. Like I can remove myself from it and be like, objectively, not for me. Show is decent. The issue I have with the first, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. And when they, spoiler alert for Anthony, when they reveal Stain, fucking blew my goddamn. I'm like, I should have saw it coming. Like that makes the fucking most sense, right? Like obviously,
Hero Killer Stain, My Hero Academia.
No, like I should have seen it coming. The issue I have is the main character who plays Riri. For the first 2 episodes, it just looked like she just gonna cry the entire fucking time, and it took me out of it. I couldn't get past it, Jared. And it's probably just how she looks, and conventionally she's a very young, attractive, fit woman. It just every time it panned to her face, I was like, you were like one minor inconvenience from killing everyone and just breaking down, and I just couldn't get to it. It gets better. The whole AI thing was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed
that was a neat little thing they put in there. They got
some great fucking characters, and I like the storyline and how it's all coming together.
How is Anthony Ramos's The Hood?
He's actually not bad. He's kind of just menacing. He's very menacing.
He's a charming, menacing villain. He works.
Go ahead.
If you want a good laugh, watch him in Hamilton, where he plays a 9-year-old as an adult.
The first episode ends with like him opening a safe and putting the hood, like his outfit around like a mannequin thing. I was like, oh, this is, because I don't know a whole lot about that character, because like, again, this is just kind of an area of Marvel that I haven't, but like I know kind of what happens, but I'm like, that's so fucking menacing to have just an empty room with this, what I assume is going to be some sort of magical menacing cape based on everything. And it basically harkened back to like fucking Doctor Strange's fucking Cloak of Levitation. And it was, I don't really care. It's just fucking amazing.
People online
you can spoil it for me. It's fine.
Well, people online seem to be a bit confused by the hood, which to those people, I'd say just Google it. Just fucking Google it. You can find
Jared?
the actual
I have you as a literal rant, and so just fucking tell me so I know. My phone's connected to the Wi-Fi. If I try to do that, I'm gonna break up. So just fucking tell me.
The internet is trying to insist that his hood has to do that. It's them bringing in Mephisto. Which
that's what I thought.
Spoilers.
Oh, you mean like Loki and WandaVision?
It's not.
Yeah, it's not exactly Mephisto. The shorts version of it is that I don't know what they're doing for the show, but comic-wise, he breaks into a facility that has a demon. He fights said demon, and security people ends up getting the boots and the hood. The boots make him levitate. The hood helps him go invisible, and that's what it also kind of has a possession thing going on with it, which is what I assume. Getting at here.
Right, that's what I assumed as well. Yeah. The cape is bad because, like, if you're gonna put it around a
very evil.
Well,
very evil.
The thing, not to speculate even further, but it was a steel metal frame that he was putting the cape around, and everyone knows that steel is bad against demon and fae, and so like I just assumed that was to count, and it's in a giant fucking steel vault. So
the hood. Do you remember Doctor Strange?
Mm-hmm.
Dormammu is his hood and boots.
Oh, okay. That actually makes no sense considering that in canon they confirmed that Doctor Strange was
Yeah,
Dormammu.
exactly.
So, but actually, that would make sense
Mike,
if Dormammu is Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's fine. I get it.
in the comics, he has a gun that shoots magic bullets. He's not that.
I love that
And
so fucking much. I need that more than anything right now, because like that's what's gonna pull me back into the MCU is magic bullets.
Yeah, regular gun, magic bullets.
Which
gun, with this,
it just got a clip. It's got a fucking pentagram on the side of it. It's lock and load, motherfucker.
I have to do my invocation before I load each clip.
I love for you, Anthony. They wrote around that. That just if he gets a gun in general, the hood makes the magic. So like any gun he picks up just has magic bullets. From what I gathered, he just anything he uses, he can do that with.
The opening 3 episodes are like, hey, we have this job, 2 other jobs, and the big one. And I'm assuming the big one's going to be something like breaking into the fucking Sanctum Sanctorum or fucking whatever to steal a bunch of magic shit. Right, and that's how we're going to get fucking the next Shang-Chi and fucking Doctor Strange is going to be all tied in Ironheart.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like it does prove my point that I had the theory of that this is just building out to prepare you for Doctor Doom because Doom's just a mix of those two things. But either this is going to help bring in Dormammu for the the third Doctor Strange they talked about, or it's what some people think is that this is how they're going to do Mephisto and just change out Dormammu for him and to like build him in. Maybe the 3rd episode did show that there was an entity that came to him, so who knows who that was. Real good to not show you.
And in case you're wondering, it was Ezekiel Stain, who is Obadiah's son there, sir.
Yes.
So, like, and he tells Riri, like, that was, like, my father actually didn't die in a plane crash. He turns out he was just a fucking terrible person. And that
turns out he just went crazy.
I saw that clip online before starting Ironheart, and I was like, you know what sounds good? Watching all of the Iron Man movies again. So that's what I did these last 2 days, is I burned through Iron Man 1 and 2 and half of 3. And I'm like, yeah, these movies were fucking good, man. These movies were fucking great. Fucking the second one, I forget how much I liked the second movie.
Great adaptation of Demon in the Bottle back in the day when they didn't really want to have him being an alcoholic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I really hurt my foot when my chair clicked back.
Before I was gonna ask you, did you almost fucking die?
Okay? So the little bar in my chair isn't like properly isn't properly shaped. So if I lean back too much for too long, it will just pop out. And that's what happened. Was it popped out? So I was just leaning back normal, like as far as it can lean. Like it leans all the way back. But I wasn't expecting that, and I have concrete floors, so I caught myself on my desk. And my foot hurts.
Before we move on from comics, I would like to talk about the Superman movie that's coming out, because early critics reviewed are saying it's basically just an episode of the animated series of Superman from like the 90s. They're saying it is akin to the Silver Age of comics, and it is great. And then I saw a new clip online where Superman. Oh, you've seen it too, huh?
Yes.
So Superman just busts into Lex Luthor's office, John Wick style, and starts screaming about, "Where's my dog?
Where's my
dog?" Because apparently Lex Luthor has kidnapped Crypto, which is not cool. Not cool at all. And I'm so fucking pumped for a Superman movie, which is something I never in a million years thought I would say. Because I, like many people from my generation, think Superman is a fucking dork. Because he's a god, and it's how you like.
I've just never been a fan of Superman.
Yeah,
but
neither. I'm getting there right now.
It's okay. Welcome to the good side.
Also, have you seen what the plan is for, like, because obviously he's going to continue, the next solo Superman movie is going to be?
No, is it Miss
No.
Miss McPillick?
What?
Is it Mr. Miss
Yes.
Spitalik?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
It is. With Danny DeVito. Yes. Mr. Mixoplexit. Yes. Whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah.
Mixpitalik.
Yeah. If you don't know what it is, Jared, it's
the little.
Yes,
Fifth dimensional imp.
It's like what the Bat Imp is for Batman. Batmite is, but it's Superman's version of basically the Great Gazoo or whatever the fuck it is for Flintstone. Yeah. Do you know how you defeat Mr. Mixlicklickit?
You have to make him say his name backwards.
Yeah.
Go watch
so fucking great.
Go watch the Superman episode, animated episode, which has Gilbert Godfrey as
yes, it is Gilbert. I forgot, but yeah, they're thinking there's that storyline, and obviously a Bizarro storyline that you can easily do. But like, yeah,
Bizarro have Henry Cavill as Bizarro.
Oh God, this is so good.
I will tune in if they do. I'll tune in for that. This one, yeah. I'll wait.
And
I'm just not a big enough Superman fan to say I'm going to support it.
That's fine. Listen, after the last couple, I fucking get it.
You've seen Morbius 5 times.
You've seen Morbius 5 times.
Yeah, see, so I'm not falling.
No, I did.
I've never been a huge one, so it wasn't a movie I was like, yeah, I know people who are. I've just never been into Superman.
I love Superman.
I have never. I'm a Batman stan. Everyone knows I'm a Batman Green Lantern stan. So
and you say that Superman's super strong when you have the fucking prep time over there.
Here's where I fell in love with both these superheroes. There's a comic book crossover that I had where Superman gets a green Batman gets a Green Lantern ring and just fucking wrecks ship because that is a power that Batman should not have.
I agree. He should have the Yellow Lantern ring.
No.
He is fear is his whole thing.
That's very true.
Yeah, but that's very bad. I've seen the comic where they did do that. That's also very bad.
People don't go to Batman for hope.
No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't go well if he gets.
I guess he does have a lot of willpower. I'm mixing up my lantern rings. I rescind that. Bring it. I apologize.
Hope is blue, my friend.
Yep, I rescind.
Yeah, willpower. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm super excited for a Superman movie and whatever James Gunn wants to do. So
he's good. So if it does well and it's good, then
it's the weekend. What is it? July 4th release.
I think it
comes up July the week after.
Yeah, the week after.
Right, because I think I'll come home on Friday. Well, you're in Gaylord, and me and Jared will have Me and Jared will have to do a solo record unless we do it earlier in the week. It's not going to be doing anything that week.
We'll find out.
Yep.
So with that, I have some things that Anthony, if you'd like to
hang on. Do
you
want to do Squid Games first? Do you want spoilers?
Yeah, I'll do that one first.
That way, Anthony,
because I've seen the first season, but I don't care enough to get a Netflix account to see the second season. So I'm okay with spoilers.
Can I just say something before we start? I have not seen any of the Squid Games. And
that's fine.
And the things you're going to complain about.
I don't think it's a show you'd enjoy.
Probably not. The things you're going to complain about are things that we talk about a lot on this show about being lightning in a bottle and how you'll never be able to recapture that no matter how quick you try to pump out a season. Once something is caught and there's a huge demand for it, unless it is the next day turnaround, the die-off is so quick because the internet is so massive with a 24-hour news cycle. You just fall off the face of the earth. And I give credit to Squid Games. They turned it around a lot faster than fucking Stranger Things did, but once the hype is gone off a thing, you can't get it back. You just can't. And I think that's going to be something that you're going to complain about.
And also, with Squid Game, it had a really good ending. A very tied. Sure, they had a thing where it was maybe he's gonna go do something, but had a very good tied up ending. And you're thinking, wow, this guy won Squid Game. why in the fuck would he go back to the game that he knows?
Anthony, I'll regale you.
Enlighten,
Mike's never seen it.
Yes, please.
Maverick's never seen it. You have
Don't
only
give
seen the
a
first season.
shit. Yeah, I forget what's
So yeah,
what's
so
the character's name.
you're correct. The first season ended with him winning the game, and then he leaves, and it's all happy. He has all the money. Like he's traumatized as fuck, but like, hey, money. I'm gonna live with my daughter. And yes, you're correct. They end that fucking season with him purposely going out of his way to try to get back in the game, because to him, he wants to shut the game down entirely, because he feels very strongly that in general, having 500 people fight to the death for a bunch of money is just extremely wrong, especially when there's people who are just watching it for sport. Sure. Noble, but you're not going to be able to do anything, so you're an idiot. So yeah, he stops going on the plane when he gets the call from the main bad guy, Headman, who tells him, get on the plane, don't keep looking for us, put the card down, get on the plane, go live your life. You won. Congratulations. And then he walks away, and they leave it as, what's he gonna do? Season 2, most of the beginning of that season was just like a year or so after that ending, that he bought a hotel. He basically is still trying. He's trying to find the recruiter that he ran into. Like, he knows he's in the subway. He knows that he recruits people there. So it's the first like 3 episodes ish of season 2 are him making a team and then literally scouring every subway to try to find this guy. And then they do. Backfires completely, because the two of the people he hires get put into rock, paper, scissors, basically, and doesn't end well for them. And the recruiter's just like, yeah, you were looking for me? You're going to play a game yourself. But regardless, he gets back into it. He came up with a plan for season 2, which was they put a fake tooth with a transmitter, because they're like, anything I have on me, they strip you down and put you in the suit. So anything I have, they're going to find it. We'll make a fake tooth, because how are they going to find that? Fun fact, they did fucking find it. And I was
going to say,
it's the end of season 2.
They knew the entire time.
Yeah, basically. So the team goes searching for him. They can't find him. And then you find out that the boat captain with his search and rescue team also is one of the people of the games who's distracting them from finding the right island. Because they find his radio transmitter.
We do made by James Gunn.
See, he goes into the first game, which is once again red light, green light. And nobody believes him, because he immediately tries to tell them about, like, hey, literally, you're going to fucking die. This isn't just playing games. I beat them before, and everyone thinks he's lying. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. Crazy guy. Of course, shit hits haywire, and then he also finds out during the game, reaching into his mouth, that, oh, my fake tooth is missing. Oh, fuck, they found that. I'm now trapped on this fucking island, and my plan is completely fucked. No shit.
What you should have done, you should have swallowed it.
Well, with the doctors on site, I don't know if that would have done any good for you. Because fun fact, for people who don't watch, whatever, the people who kind of die but don't really die in the game, if you're still kind of alive, they take you for organs, and they sell your organs out if you're still kind of alive. So there's doctors on site, they'd get it out. So anyway, we went through all of season 2. The ending of season 2 was that he did finally get people to rise up, and they fight back. They kill a shit ton of the guards. They literally fight their way to the top. But here's the kicker. Anthony, you remember from season 1, the old man, right?
Yeah, the old guy who pretends to be having dementia, and turns out he had turbo cancer.
Yeah, and then he found out at the end he was actually the leader of the entire thing, and then was dying. So the last games were just him reliving his childhood, basically.
Having a good time.
So season 2, Headman is now in charge. He joins the games. So for the viewer, we know who that is. Our main character has no fucking idea who this man is. So he just manipulates him for all of the season 2 that there was. Helps him with the fight all the way up till the very, very end. And then they did a great cliffhanger, and I was so excited for season 3. because he fakes his death and then kills everyone off and then puts his costume back on and then goes to the main character. And he's like, yeah, this whole coup failed. So what are you going to do? And then he looks him dead in the face. He's like, you don't get to die, though. Shoots his friend in the head next to him and then goes, you're going to continue playing the game because I'm going to prove to you that no one will ever break this fucking cycle. I will break you. And I was like, oh, this is going to get exciting. Where are we going?
Where are we going? North Korea?
So season 3 comes in.
West Korea. The ocean? What ocean?
So it started off very intense. And I was actually into it for so season 3 is 6 episodes for the finale. There's a trans military character in here that me and Sergeant Redacted, we really liked the character because she was very like headstrong. She kept everyone in line. She survived fucking everything. She kept everyone alive. And we were like, this is our character. Episode 3, spoiler for everyone, she brutally fucking dies trying to help the once was pregnant, now gave birth to a baby. Hold on. That's a whole side plot point that's real fucked up. And the old lady, she gets killed. And we immediately screamed at the TV because it's like, that's one character that should not kill the old lady. Just fucking kill the old lady. How the fuck she's made it this far is beyond us. She shouldn't have made it this far. Fun fact, she says she hangs herself like next episode because she feels bad.
So anyway, hanged.
She hanged herself.
So there's a baby, right?
Apparently,
so the character who had the baby, 222, they go to jump rope with a bridge, and you have to like cross the bridge and do the jump rope, which of course is a death trap. Pregnant girl had hurt her ankle, so she couldn't do the jumping thing. She gives baby to main character and goes, because old woman killed herself, basically told him to take care of her. Yeah, it's like, I can't do it. You need to make sure they get there. Anyway, he takes the baby, he crosses, and then a whole bunch of shit happens, of course, because people are shitheads. He can't get back to girl. Girl kills herself because she's like, I can't jump. That I'm not going to make this game. I'm not going to make him come back and try to carry me and kill himself. Like, that's not fair.
This is your
so then you're like,
now.
Well, right. See, that's the thing. Where then I'm like, how the fuck does this baby work? That like me and Sergeant Protected looked at each other both and went, so what the fuck now? There's just a fucking baby? Yes, because then the headman turns to all the VIPs who are the rich people who watch these fucking games and goes, because they ask him, well, what about the baby? Do we just take it out? What do we do? He goes, that's player 222 now. And I went, excuse me? He goes, yeah, no, she's dead. That's fine. The baby takes her spot. That's now the contestant. That makes it interesting. And I went, that's fucked up. That's a fucking baby. What the fuck is the baby going to do for any of this?
Nothing. It's a newborn. They can't do shit except for piss and eat.
Mm-hmm.
Piss, shit, eat, cry. That's all newborns do.
So the thing that made me the most mad is when we get to the actual finale episode, Headman makes a move with our main character. He gives him a dagger because it's him and like 6 other people that are left. And he's like, take this. I know you don't trust me. He like reveals himself finally. He's like, yeah, no, I was that other player. Like, I betrayed you. But here's the thing. You have an infant. All those guys are going to kill it. Like, that's just going to happen. It's now a contestant. It's taking money from them. They're going to want to take care of that.
They have a weak spot right on the top of the head. You grab it by the ankles and you swing it around.
But he gives him a dagger, and then we get a flashback, which was interesting to show the night Headman won the game, because that was something you found out like season 1, that he was a winner. He was given the same option by the old man from season 1 of he was given a dagger, and it was a choice of either play the game or just take care of them now and be called the winner. So he gives him that, and he's like, protect that baby. Trust me, take the knife, kill all the others, protect the baby, and you two get to walk away and win. You have my word. Fun fact, main character's too good of a fucking person and can't kill fucking anyone in the room, and my god, he should have just fucking done it. But he gets a flashback from the dead girl from season 1 who goes, "You're too good a person to kill someone in their sleep. Like this isn't who you are." And he can't. Fucking pussy. So
at the point you're saving a baby's life, do it.
Yeah, at this point it's like, man, like I get it. But like at the same time, like just fucking do it, dude.
Save the baby.
So they go to the final game, and it's Squid Game again. Fun, of course. But this time, instead of on like a play field, it's 3 raised shapes. So the circle, triangle, square. And basically it was, how are we going to make them all play the last game if they could just choose to end it? Because they give them votes at the end of every game in this one now. And the headman tells him, he's like, because we're going to let them choose who lives and dies. If they know who's going to win, they're going to want to play if they know they're not going to lose. And we were like, the fuck does that mean? Yeah, so you get to the game and it goes, yeah, so you have to get to each 3 spots. And at each spot, 1 person minimum has to die. And then you can move on to the next area. And it's just the 3, and then you're done and you win. And they're like, well, there's 8 of us, including the baby. So that means 6 of us are just going to, 5 of us, whatever, we're going to split the money. That's fine. When I tell you, I didn't want the main character to die, that I had watched this man for 2 seasons now be smarter than everybody, be luckier than everybody, and he's just continued to win to get to the fucking ending. It is the dad of the kid, the baby, and him. He makes a simple mistake, and we screamed at the TV about this. So the dad of the kid doesn't let him get to the last podium, and basically it's just like, it's just going to be me and the kid. And then he tries to argue, like, are you really going to like kill your own fucking baby to win this stupid fucking game? Whereas you could let both of us across, you kill me and the baby's fine, you could win. And then it turns into a whole fucking fight because he doesn't want to do that. He wants him to just die immediately because he's a selfish piece of shit and he's just going to kill the baby to win the game. So they get into a fight. Before each round, you had to push a button on the middle of the fucking shape to start the round. He was 2 steps away from just pushing the fucking button. He could have pushed the fucking button, but instead, this motherfucker fights the father, falls off the edge, and then the father falls to his death. Me and Sergeant Redacted immediately went, did he start the round? In fact, he did not start the fucking round, so he gets back up and he goes, oh, fuck, it's just me and the baby. So what happens? Of course, he kills himself, but he doesn't even give a good speech. He literally just goes, we are human. We don't deserve this. We are human, and humans are. And then he just falls to his death, and I went, fucking excuse me?
This baby's like 4 days old.
Yes.
What are they gonna?
Yes.
What the Prince Pervert's gonna do with it? Oh, never mind. I don't want to ask that question.
No, actually, nothing like that happens. So the baby's the winner.
Yeah.
Also, in this finale, the National Guard, whatever, they showed up. They get sent to the island. They get made aware that they are coming to the island. So then it turns into the detective brother from season 1 who survived, finding his brother, who's the head man at the very end, picking up the baby. They give you no fucking answers, which is what pissed me off. They don't answer why these happen. They don't answer who the fuck any of these people are. The brother, who we'd watched from season 1, try to get some kind of fucking answers and closure about his fucking brother and why he runs this. You get nothing. He literally just looks at his brother as he picks up the baby through a fucking window that he shoots out and just yells at him. And then they just share a glance of, I'm going to leave now. And then he goes down the elevator and that's all you get.
It's like the ending of Jurassic Park 3 where the Navy just appears.
Yes.
They blow up the facility and then we cut to 6 months later. We get closure to characters that we didn't meet till season 2, who I didn't really give that much of a shit about, if I'm going to be honest with you. There were other characters that I'd known longer that I wanted closure to, not these people. But anyway, they skip ahead. The head man who survived drops the baby off at his detective brother with all the winnings and is just basically like, raise this kid because like I'm a criminal boss, as you know. Raise this child because it has no parents. He goes to LA, and at first Sergeant Redacted was confused why he went to LA. The main character, 456, his daughter and wife had moved, or ex-wife had moved to LA. So Headman goes there. He gives her father's winnings because apparently at the end, he just decided that both of them won. Or no, actually, no. He takes the money that was left over and gives her that. Now I'm remembering. He took, because he had a shit ton of winnings left over. So anyway, he gives that to her. I had the point of like, at what point did this motherfucker go back to get his bloody clothes? Because the green suit isn't what he was wearing when he died. So that was just off somewhere. So not only in the like 2 minutes of the bombs exploding, he picked up a fucking baby, took an elevator, took time to go pick up some extra fucking bloodied clothes from the guy who died he respected, and then got off the island, which fuck off. There's no way in fuck.
That's about right.
Yeah, with the money. So anyway, he does that. This series fucking ends with him in traffic. He looks at an alleyway, and I screamed at the TV because I don't know how the fuck they managed to pull off this cameo. It is straight up Kate Blanchett in a fucking alleyway being a recruiter, bitch slapping somebody, doing the slap game, and she gives him a look. They nod, she winks, slaps the dude that she's playing with again, and then he drives off. And it's literally just oh, did you think it was just Korea? I don't know, series over, bye now. And that's it. No answers, no closure. The main character just fucking kills himself after all we had to sit through. I hated it. I got no answers, no fucking closure, and it just abruptly ends with I don't know, go fuck yourself. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
It was great up until that last episode. If they had just not done a couple things that they did, I would have been more okay. But it is the fact that nothing ended itself. They didn't like end anything that we had going, and all of it was just left with I don't fucking know. You think about it. Bye. Fuck you. Fuck you so hard. So that's yeah.
That's a great ending to a great show. Yeah.
Yeah, I was super mad. It was terrible. I don't know how they pulled that off. Could have given us answers on fucking anything and I'd have been okay.
No, fuck you.
So I assume there will be another series that's coming. I assume that's why they ended it the way they did. God only knows if that'll happen. I can only imagine how this is going with people right now. So we'll see. We'll see.
According to the Wikipedia, it was the last season. So
yes,
we'll
yes, I knew this was the finale season. Like I knew this is where it was ending, which is why I got mad. But I assume it's ending to say we're going to do another series.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, so that's that. That's my fucking made me mad.
Well, that's exciting.
So Anthony,
is this the Anthony?
There's only one other thing I have on my list for this episode, which is 28 years, but you were gonna go see it, so you don't want.
Yes,
so I
will let Jared do his thing.
Don't know why he shut off his camera.
I don't know either.
How are we supposed to get him back?
It's because I'm gonna go take a piddle, and I was gonna be gone without being gone.
That's fine, but like,
yeah, that's fine.
You gotta let us know, like, you be like, I'm gonna be mysterious and Houdini like.
I will be mysterious and Houdini like. Whoopah! I'll be right back. You do your thing, boo.
He's gone now. We're good.
Yeah, I figured. I'm surprised by Maverick. These movies are not in his realm.
Not at all. Not even
things.
close.
I was very surprised to hear him say he looked up like stories so far.
No,
Like,
I need to preface this by saying that I listened to a movie podcast that I bring up quite a bit. That's a very popular one, right? So like last year they did Danny Boyle as a series. So they did 28 days. So like I watched 28 days because I typically try to watch the movies with them so I can kind of see. So which is fine. 28 days is a fine movie. And then they did 28 weeks on like a Patreon special because that one was not Danny and Alex, right? That was a different director. Or Alex Garland helped produce and write it, but Danny Boyle did not direct. And so this is them coming back together on 28 years. So I've watched them both, but it has been a year or so since I watched them. So there's not a really good place to stream them. So like just kind of like
surprisingly not, yeah.
But I know, and then I looked up the spoilers because here's the thing, right? I'm not really a horror guy, but I'm gonna go see this movie with probably Sven and Anthony. Because that is a movie. I drag them to see my movies. It's only fair that I go see their movies. I know enough of like zombies running at me with giant sausages and whatnot. I've seen the memes. I've seen the GIFs. I am real excited to see the fucking Bone Temple. Like there are plot points in this movie that are less horror based that I am very excited to develop. So that is where I'll end my piece right now and let you kind of talk for a minute.
So my overall thing with 28 days as a series here, 28 days to 28 weeks, they tried to do the Alien to Aliens thing where one has more like the creatures are there, they appear and they get scary, but like they're atmospheric. Correct. 28 weeks was the one where they were like action, everything getting shot, everything getting blown up, and it just didn't work.
Was not for me. I enjoyed 28 Days as a movie. Okay, again, you gotta. I watched it noon.
I enjoyed
noon on a Sunday with a crucifix above my head. Like right, like ain't shit getting to me now. Like bright sunshine, and like I tell people all the time, like, are you gonna go see the movie? Like, yeah, I'll probably go see this movie. Like, well, when? I was like, so this is like an 11 o'clock on a sunny afternoon movie for Maverick. We can't see this shit at like 9 o'clock at night because I'll be so fucking paranoid and on edge that like, the drive home will not be good for anyone or Maverick's heart. So I digress.
So I have seen a lot of people online that seem divided with this movie, but
I saw it too.
The things I've seen people complain about are some of the dumbest, pettiest shit. So a big complaint I've seen some people say is, I hate that it ended to lead up for a sequel. First off,
it's fucking two.
For the people who think that was hidden, they talked about that months ago. That this had a second movie.
Not only does it have hidden. It's got a movie after that movie. It just has to make its fucking money back, and it's going to
hidden information.
Danny Boyle. You just didn't know what it was. How they tied it at the end, where they're going to be like, "Yeah, it's the Bone Temple or whatever." It's fucking great. Let the man cook for God's sakes.
I like 28 years as much as I like 28 days, just because they did very well to build this world back out. To explain that the UK was cut off. It's just they just cut the limb off. There was no saving it. Because even in 28 weeks, they talk about there's not a cure. There's just making sure there's not an outbreak and doing our best, but we can't cure it. So 28 years just jumps to, they just cut the whole fucking UK off. Like, it's just dead. If you're there, you're dead.
Which I love because, like, what I've seen online is, like, it is a pinpoint in society. Because, like, while we as an outside world have progressed, everything is stuck 28 years ago. The fucking Teletubbies, the pop culture, how they developed the fucking ganglands and cults. Like, obviously that's how it would fucking progress. It's fucking amazing.
That was something Redacted pointed out as you were driving home, that he really loved that detail. Because
so fucking good. So fucking good.
There is a soldier who gets trapped on the island, and he pulls out a cell phone, and the kid, who he's like 13-ish, has no
Aaron Taylor
fucking
Johnson's
idea what
kid?
the phone is. Yeah, no idea what a phone is. He's like, "What is that?" And the guy tries explaining it, and he's like, "Do you even know what the internet is? You don't know what any of this is, do you?" Oh
No,
my
it's
god!
fucking
Well, it's
brick.
just a brick now because it's dead.
Yeah,
Like-
fucking signal.
The alphas have giant schlongs for.
And you just
It's a
and so the
choice that
alpha's
was
the one
made.
that are those the ones that are on all four, or are those the crawlers, right? Is that what they're called? There's like one. There's a.
I'm
subset
not.
that
I
crawls on all
don't remember
four.
what the. I don't
It's
remember what
fine.
those ones are. They are absolutely
Fucking
fucking disgusting.
That
They
they
are
look terrible. I
so
saw one online because,
disgusting.
like, again, I'm trying not to view any of the iconography because I'm trying, like, I'll look up plot points, but I kind of want shit to scare me as it needs to scare me because, like, it is what it
Gotcha.
is. But like, I saw one of the crawlers. I'm like, that's fucking horrific. What the fuck?
Yeah, they are.
I'm trying to avoid the schlongdongs because, like, I want that to be because I think
Oh,
that will
those
help.
those are goodly experienced when they happen.
I think that will bring me back into the movie as a little reprieve, being like, God damn, look at that thing swing.
So that's the thing with being 28 years later is they also played with the older infected.
Yep.
You have the ones that like crawl on the ground who seem. It seemed like they were just like fat people who turned basically.
No,
It's
so,
how
okay,
it
so
comes
that's something
across.
that
It's like
So yeah, no, they're supposed to be like the gluttons of society, right? Like because obviously there are going to be certain with the rage virus, there are going to be certain zombies that eat better, and so of course there's going to be fat people. Of course everything's going to be divided, just like in factions. Like it is so fucking good, and I'm actually excited to see the movie because it sounds really fucking good.
There's those. Any of the infected. So basically, any of the infected from 28 days or 28 weeks.
Yep.
They're not dead, but they're dying. Like
Right.
they just kind of found a place to lay down because they didn't have anything to feed or attack, and they didn't know what to do.
We're essentially 2 generations after 28 days.
That is where this movie gets interesting,
right?
Like, the virus has evolved.
Yep.
This generation is now. They're like cavemen. They hunt in packs.
Yeah.
They have a leader. They're smarter. The rabies thing does come into effect. There's a character later on who mentions that they don't like water if it runs too fast. If it's still water, they seem to be okay. But if it's running water, they don't like that at all. And I was like, yeah, that's a rabies thing. So that checks out. Yep. There's a birth scene that people seem to hate. And I have to say, just go back to health class.
Can imagine.
It's no worse than what you saw in health class. Like I'm just saying, it's. I won't spoil anything about. I want to say something about the baby because there's a fun theory that me and Redacted have. The baby's born from one of the newer infected.
Oh, sure.
The baby's not.
Okay.
They go out of their way to not show you both of its eyes.
Okay.
So me and Redacted think they're going to take the idea from 28 weeks and change it to carriers. That is where that's going to come in.
Ooh, that's
you're
fun,
infected,
yeah.
but you're not showing.
Right. Like it's like a
so we think that's why they didn't show the other eye.
Yeah, the Typhoid Mary kind of situation. That's actually really cool. I like that idea, actually.
I
forgot about that. I forgot about that aspect of the 28 weeks.
Yeah, so I think that's where they're going to go with that.
Cool.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, to just prepare you, he's not in it for the whole movie. He's in it like 25%, and then he disappears till the very end. He's not till the second movie. He doesn't die, right? But his kid becomes the main character, right? Which I think
his kid and his wife become the
lot of
people.
Character.
Right, because doesn't he like fuck a prostitute or something in the movie? Is that am I did I read that spoiler correctly or
the dad
of course.
they go out to do their thing, which is where you meet the alphas, the new infected shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when he comes back, they have a party.
Hunt, right? Yes, the first hunting party.
Yeah, he gets drunk, goes out with one of the local townsgirls because mom's not right in the head.
Oh, that's right, right.
So he sleeps with someone else when he's drunk, and then the son's like, "Fuck you!" Like, no.
Yes. Okay, I remember.
There's a doctor that they will go find. That's where you get. I guess that's your Bone Temple place. It makes sense if that's what the Bone Temple will be, but in respect to what the second movie is, I'm not sure how it's going to play in.
Sure.
Because so spoilers for people, once again, obviously, but the beginning of this movie is not relevant until the end, and that is what confused me and Redacted until after the fact, and we thought about it for a second. The little, so for anyone else who may have been confused, or maybe you figured it out, the kid in the very, very, very beginning of this movie is at 28 days.
Yep.
He sees shit go down. That is Jimmy, who you won't see till the end of the movie, who's
right.
They are Clockwork Orange as a cult in the zombie apocalypse. That's the feeling I got from them when they show up.
Again, because time is frozen. And so that's going to be
exactly
fucking Kubrickian.
So yeah, the second one will be all about Jimmy. And he said the third one will be Cillian Murphy coming back if they greenlight it. That is their plan.
They're going to greenlight it.
And that Cillian will be like what Jimmy was in the beginning of this movie to lead into the third movie. So God only knows what the fuck his part is going to be.
Going to tie it all together.
But I really liked it. I think they fleshed out the world enough to. I'm excited for the next one. I want to see where they're going to go with this now.
Sure.
Yeah, the alphas are interesting. I think those will be the most interesting thing for all three of you because they are something unique.
Yeah. So
that's all I'll say about it until
we see it next week or so.
I'll let him see it, and then
yeah, you can let him know to come back.
Making me get out my phone. This
you can just wave at him.
Oh, he wasn't looking at the screen. I was. Let's see.
Yes, correct. You're good.
I do also have to say.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Your whole right arm is cut off by the camera. So I was looking for the wave, but I did not see the wave because you're like.
Oh. Gotcha.
Luckily, I could hear your voice though, and I heard he was not even looking at the camera.
Well,
drop the shit.
Yeah, originally I was gonna wave, and then I saw you just looking down. I'm like, oh, he's not even fucking looking up. So,
well, no, I have good vision. I was looking over here, but I could see this.
Yeah. I don't know if I have to leave you with how your brain is, but okay.
That's not that. We're near the end of the
anyway.
episode.
Well, yeah, we're getting
there. We're
So that was our spoiler version of 28 years later that excused himself from. So,
which I didn't. I saved some things because Maverick wanted to keep some, so I kept some suspense for him to experience some of the moments of that.
I think I probably read all of it, but that's fine. As soon as Sven lets us know whenever the fuck he's working, if not, we're gonna have to go see it without him because, it is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't have anything left on the docket, gentlemen. Do you?
Let me double check my note.
I have nothing that has been confirmed, so I do not like to bring baseless rumors up.
Fair.
For JP 28 Squid Man Trey. Oh, I do have one more thing before I forget because I brought this up on Twitter earlier this week and I almost forgot because it's been all fucking week. And this I'm definitely gonna clip because I swear to God if I'm fucking right about this, I will straight fucking somebody's. I'm gonna blow a load. So Zach Kreger, I have a thing with this. I wanted to bring it up on the show. So he did Barbarian and he did Companion, which were both fantastic movies. I enjoyed both of them. I like what he's doing. He's another Jordan Peele, where he was really good at comedy and now he's doing really well with all this shit. His next movie is called Weapons, and I have a theory for all you fucking people out there, because there's some things that line up that I feel are too coincidental not to be what I think it is. So right before, if I remember correctly, right before the first trailer came out, he announced, hey guys, I have a Resident Evil script. I'd really love to do it. And then it came out that studios were in a fucking bidding war of who was going to take that from him, because he was a good director. His 2 movies he had put out did really well. So there was a bidding war. About a month after that statement came out, or around a couple weeks within, Weapons, the first trailer dropped. And I didn't think anything of it until I saw the second trailer. Now, the reason it made me think is for all the trailers he's done with both Barbarian and Companion, there is a story element he does not tell you in those trailers. There's always
like Barbarian, the Barbarian.
Correct. The actual Barbarian of Barbarian, or what the actual Companion meaning of Companion was. Like, he keeps things secret. So seeing the second trailer, the whole premise for this movie he had shown was that kids are being taken from their home and the parents want to know why, and there's some kind of conspiracy. And I was like, okay, I'm on board. Second trailer showed you one of those kids smashing through the door, and he looked very greenish pale with like black veins on his eyes. And I went, if that's supposed to be the thing, if I'm going by his track record, he wouldn't show you what's going on with the kids if that's supposed to be a big, like, whatever. So there's something else in the story. And then it got my brain turning. What are the things in Resident Evil called? Anthony, you would know.
I need you to be more specific.
What do they
Pirates.
call the infected? They have a classification, and it uses this word of the title.
I'm missing out the top of my head. Biohazard.
You piece of shit. Bioweapons.
Bioweapons.
All things in Resident Evil are classified as biological weapons. The movie is called Weapons. He showed you the kids, and they look pretty changed and fucked up. There's an entire side story and lore build of Resident Evil 1 and 2 that the earliest experiments Umbrella did after animals, fun fact, were children. Because children, of course, is where you go after animals in their mind.
It's gonna be the movie, and it's gonna be like, thank you, Dr. Wesker, and it's gonna cut to a man wearing glasses. Like,
that's my theory. Is that he purposely said, "Hey, I have a Resident Evil script, guys. This trailer came out. The first trailer came out. Bidding war. Second trailer comes out. Shows you what might be going on with the kids." So my experience with him so far, I think, because they show this town is very desolate, it's in the mountains, there's a lot of woods, seems very rural. I think this is just a backdoor way for him to get his Resident Evil made, and that this is going to be the reveal is that it's Umbrella stealing kids doing experiments, which would make sense because he said he wanted to do like a Resident Evil 1 kind of story. It gives you that premise for the whole first game of that the STARS operators are sent to the mountains because of missing people in the towns, and they have to figure out what's actually going on. That actually kind of makes sense and leads up pretty nicely for that. Sure. Of like, if that's your reveal at the end that they're doing experiments, maybe just tie it off with, hey, we have missing persons reports in all these towns in the mountains. There is your premise for your Resident Evil movie. It gives you a lead-in for that. That's just me going on what I know from this man on the 2 movies he's made, that he never gives away the main premise. And if he showed the kids, guaranteed there's something bigger that he's doing with this. Just saying. Because I also want to add, the second trailer also opens up with the kid talking about this is all based on true stories, that the children went missing, but when they returned home, many people ended up dead or worse. This is what happened. And then they started showing things, and it just started to click in my brain of like, oh, fuck, did he make is this his like way to introduce us to what he wants to do? I'm on board for it. It
And
looks
then
fucking good.
It's going to be a secret Silent Hill movie.
That would be even better. That would be more fucked up. But no, that's just a theory I wanted to throw out there. People on Twitter seemed pretty excited when I posted that. I don't know. So that's my theory. It's just a way for him to do that and have it make sense. Because otherwise, I guess the issue is trying to do it like the others, where you rush too much. So I guess this, in theory, gives you a kind of a good build up anyway. It gives a reason and a premise. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that. That's the only other thing I had.
All right. Well, Jared, I want to say from the Oddcast and our fans, even though none of our fans will wish you a happy birthday, birthday. Enjoy being 31. Jared's official birthday is July
10th.
When this should be uploading.
Yes.
So
correct.
Give or take.
Yeah. I was just letting the audience. I knew your birthday was July 10th. I was just letting you tell the audience for dramatic reveal. I know what all my friends' birthdays are. But thank you all for listening. Everyone have a really good time. Make sure that your husband gives you a nice cake.
Make sure you go down to your local record store, dude.
How do you?
All right.
How's your text not backwards?
Because he has a camera.
I also have a camera. Anyway.
So do I. My camera's better.
Apparently so.
No, the camera you have there that I bought is way better.
I just don't.
You just don't know what to do.
When you move back to Ohio, you can come get it.
I plan on it.
Alrighty. And with that,
Come grab some.
Maverick, any last words?
No.
All right.
So everyone, you stay on, you stay happy. Follow us, Oddcast N, patreon.com/Oddcast N, Oddcast N on social medias. Just go find us. What an Oddcast on TikTok. Catch clips. If you're watching all the stuff, we thank you. If you're watching early on Patreon, 100% thank you. I want to add in there, Patreon, just $1. Tell you what, if you don't want to pay the $1, we got a 7-day free trial. You can see if you like it or not. Check out like a month's worth of content from us early. Just go check it out. What the fuck you got to hurt? There's a 7-day free trial. Shut the fuck up and go try it. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.